Bringing this robot into your home might spark an awkward moment with your old handheld vacuum. That's because the Roborock Q Revo Master is a true all-in-one machine. Dual rollers dig deep into carpet. The motor is so strong it could suck up a toy bear. And those rotating mop pads? They'll scrub away even the worst messes. Like when your cat decides the rules don't apply. To avoid obstacles, the robot uses an active camera with built-in lighting. After cleaning, the Q Revo Master rinses its mop pads in hot water and even scrubs the base tray with dedicated scrapers. Let's check out what you get with the Q Revo Master. A large instruction sheet that might actually be useful. A solid column-style dock. The vacuum itself, with Q Revo's signature look. A removable ribbed ramp, and 2 mop discs already installed. There's a single extra dust bag for the dock, a quick assembly guide, a full user manual and safety instructions, both in English. There's also a list of English voice commands for Hello Rocky. Only the global version is available on the market. As for specs, they're impressive. High suction power and smart navigation tools. The design is similar to other Q Revo models. A round body with a dustbin under the lid, a matte finish that hides fingerprints, and a square camera window built into the bumper. Full height with LiDAR is 4.1 inches, which might be a problem if your furniture clearance is just 4 inches. On-body controls are minimal. Just 2 buttons, plus 1 more on the LiDAR. That extra button helps if the robot gets stuck under a couch. The lid pops off completely, revealing a QR code and a reset button. The dustbin is tiny, just 7.4 ounces. Even in a medium-sized home, it'll fill up fast. Got a hairy dog? You'll probably need to run it in 2 separate sessions. On the flip side, this compact setup might improve suction, at least on paper. The HEPA filter is mounted high to delay dust clogging. Up front, you'll find a dual-lens camera with lighting. There's a retractable side brush and a side sensor. On the back, you've got the exhaust vents, charging contacts, parking roller, a refill port for the onboard tank, and a waste outlet valve. Underneath are 2 drive wheels and a standard swivel caster. Next to that is an ultrasonic carpet sensor and 5 drop sensors around the perimeter. The central frame features dual suspension. Each side can move independently, ensuring tight floor contact. Underneath the frame are the familiar ribbed rollers with removable ends. The side brush is a standard 3-armed nylon type. When the robot hits a corner, it extends forward for better reach. At the back, you'll find those trademark Roborock mop rollers. Thick and fluffy, unlike the thin cloths on most other brands. The right disc extends sideways to scrub along baseboards. We'll see how well that works in a bit. First, let's take a look at the dock. It follows the classic Roborock tower style with open water tanks. Yes, they still insert from the top, no covers, and they collect dust just fine. The tanks are tall and narrow, with a volume of about 0.9 to 1.1 gallons. They open fully so you can wipe them clean. There's no built-in sanitization system. It's a standard setup. Behind the gray shell is the dust bag compartment. Build quality is average with a plastic latch. Environmentalists might not love that. Check the comments. The internal design of the dock is about what you'd expect. Sealing gaskets for dust removal, power contacts, a tank refill port. One cool thing? Maintenance is simple. You don't need to scrub the tray constantly. Scrapers under the rotating mops do that job. And if you want to clean the tray manually, it's easy. Just pull it out, take it apart, rinse it. And if you find replacements, swap the scrapers too. You can also remove the mesh filter and pull off any stuck hair. The ramp itself? Washable under the sink. The back panel only houses a cable channel and service port. If you want to hook this dock into your plumbing system, you'll need the slim version. It's shown in the picture, but currently unavailable for purchase. Overall, the dock feels well built and thoughtfully designed. The only downside? There's no detergent dispenser. To get started, install the official app, scan the QR code, press and hold 2 buttons, then enter your 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi info. No need to change your region. Setup is simple, no issues at all. Once the plugin loads, I kicked off a quick mapping session. The robot finished in 6 minutes. It identified flooring in about half the space, didn't render mirrors, and didn't place furniture. The feature list is the same as the Q Revo Max V or the S8 Max V Ultra. You can pause and review the screen. We'll focus on the key highlights. You can fine-tune suction, water flow. Yes, it supports variable water control. and movement paths for each room. Then save those settings into a single cleaning scenario you can trigger with one tap. Or let the robot use AI to handle the planning for you while you focus on other things. If there are trouble zones, you'll want to mark them on the map so the robot knows to give them extra attention. Mop rinsing can be scheduled by time, between 10 and 25 minutes, or by room. There are settings for water volume, water temperature, and dustbin emptying frequency. The dock even supports automatic tray scrubbing thanks to those scraper arms. As for carpets, it offers multiple cleaning algorithms. We'll test those later. You can also choose whether the side brush should extend in corners and enable auto re-cleaning if the mop comes back dirty. Front sensor settings are customizable too. You can adjust obstacle sensitivity, allow or block snapshots, and more. The camera is live, by the way. You can remotely connect, drive around the house, and check in on your pet. It also comes with a built-in voice assistant. Hello, Rocky.
I'm here.
Go ahead, start cleaning.
Okay, start cleaning.
And off it goes. There's even a clean here voice command. The robot will find you and clean the space around where you're standing. Overall, it's packed with features. It just can't clean under curtains or recognize puddles and stains. Let's move on to field testing, starting with obstacle avoidance. First thing to note, this robot is a bit of a feeler. It likes to gently bump things before reacting. It went around the power strip and scale only after a soft touch. No problem with the white flower pot though. It avoided it right away, but then came back and gave it a curious nudge. But one large object left it totally stunned. It froze and wouldn't go near it. A sock and a small surprise scared it off. The robot reversed out of the danger zone and tried to enter the minefield from a different angle. It slowed down in front of a phone charger just in time. The dark flower pot brushed it with a solid bump. It didn't brush the sneaker directly, but circled around it from different angles until it cleaned the area. That's the Master's signature style. Find a safe gap, ease in inch by inch, and back out the same way. This worked for 7 out of 9 recognized objects. The Q Revo Master mistook potted plants for furniture legs, which is why it decided to brush them. Additional obstacle tests also went well, though not flawlessly. It almost ran over a loose cord before realizing what it was. It nudged a power strip out of place but managed to mark it on the map. It even recognized our faux orange tabby, labeled it correctly, and played with it a bit. Not bad. But the mirror test was a fail. It couldn't detect the reflection and drew an imaginary space behind it. So yeah, there's still room for improvement in some areas, but overall, object detection is top-notch. In low-light conditions, the robot automatically switches on its LED, which helps it identify large items. I also tested puddle detection, even though it's not advertised, and sure enough, the robot ignored the water. But since the mop unit lifts during wet cleaning, the rollers stayed dry. However, in full cleaning mode, accidents can happen. So yeah, make sure your cat respects the robot's authority. As long as you don't overload it with hazards, the Master performs confidently. First, it outlines the perimeter. It avoids curtains, hugs both light and dark baseboards, and moves in smooth, straight lines. No tremors here. Once it finishes the edges, it slices through the room in neat zigzags. Its encounter with the clothes-drying rack was mixed. It saw it, slowed down, maneuvered around the corner, marked it on the map, and then, out of nowhere, started wrestling with a tubular leg. After hanging there for about 15 seconds, it made a decision: go around the second leg entirely. Was that machine learning, or just a happy accident? Drop your theories in the comments. But when it comes to other types of furniture legs, the robot is confident and deliberate. It slows down, gives them a solid brush, and moves on. Whether it's thin coffee table legs or chunky sofa, cabinet, or kitchen table bases, it handles them all with care. And on carpets, it behaves exactly as configured in the app. You can set it to prioritize carpets, clean them first in crosshatch patterns, and only then handle the rest of the room. The mop pads can lift up to 0.4 inches. That's not enough for medium pile rugs, but it's average across most vacuums. Want to wash that mat? Go for it. Another option? Just avoid carpets altogether. To speed things up, you can draw carpet zones on the map. The color of the floor doesn't matter. The surface sensors respond just fine to dark flooring and keep the robot away from stair edges. So yeah, multi-level homes? No problem. It cleared the 0.6-inch step diagonally like it was nothing. A 0.8-inch ledge took 2 tries, and in a later test, it couldn't get over it at all. It kept bumping it with the front bumper. So yeah, I'd say the realistic max clearance for this model is around 0.7 inches. When it comes to cleaning under furniture, keep in mind, with the LiDAR turret, the robot's total height is 4.1 inches, so your sofa or cabinet needs at least 4.2 inches of clearance. As for general cleaning performance, no complaints. The map looks great, tight lines, no wandering, and it covers every corner. The battery is decent by today's standards, 5,200 mAh. In max mode, it runs for about 95 minutes. Since we ran the S8 Max V Ultra the day before, there wasn't much dirt left for the Master, but it still picked up a clump of hair and some miscellaneous debris. The rollers looked nearly clean except for a few strands wrapped around the ends. In that regard, the Master actually performs a bit better than its more expensive sibling. And the same goes for noise levels. On max settings, it hits about 62 decibels. Noticeably quieter than most vacuums, though still louder than other Q Revo models. You might think the noise comes from more power, but multiple test runs across different zones debunk that theory. It fully cleaned 0.08 inch wide, gaps in 3 spots, and spot cleaned 0.16 inch thick, but that's where it topped out. Deeper grooves were too much, so in the end, the Q Revo Master's raw suction power is slightly below average, about the same as other dual roller Roborock models. That said, the dual rollers do a great job gathering debris. On the first pass, it cleared the center but scattered particles into the corners. Guess it fancied itself a soccer player. Second pass? Cleanup success. I counted 17 granules total, all weighing under a gram. Here we've got another member of the 100% on laminate club. The side brush doesn't sweep everything perfectly, sometimes it misses a bit, but overall it does its job. While cleaning up sand, the Master drew a square on the test stand, then immediately erased it with its rubber rollers and followed up with a detailed edge pass. The surface looked clean, and our test wipe confirmed it. Still, some dirt remained in the floor joints. During the corner test, the front sensor saved the day. The robot backed up and nailed it on the first try. Why not turn that into a standard behavior? Sadly, that's a rhetorical question, but on carpet, that same front sensor became a liability. It mistook a clump of lint in the corner for an obstacle and avoided it. On the second pass, it managed to scatter and pick up most of it, but about 4% of the debris was still left behind, even after a double pass with crisscross patterns. On a plush rug, the Master switched back to its default cleaning algorithm, 2 passes along the walls, then zigzags across the room. It did a solid job, especially in the middle where the rollers had good contact, but deeper in the fibers, small particles remained. Still, overall performance is high, pretty much on par with the S8 Maxway or Q Revo's latest flagship. The cleaning tools looked great post-test, though, yes, hair still wraps around the roller ends. So don't believe the hype about those anti-tangle blades in ads. Emptying the bin at the dock takes 20 seconds, and the noise level during that process hits 72 decibels. That's an average noise level for all-in-one vacuums. Yeah, you might want to pause your Netflix episode, but the dock handles all kinds of debris. Sunflower seeds, rice and pea mix, even cat litter. It all goes straight into the dust bag with no leftovers. Sand gives it a bit of trouble, but not much. 95% collection is still solid. Even during shedding season, the bin stays empty. Mission accomplished. Not surprising, really. Since Roborock switched to side dump bins, complaints have been minimal. But let's talk mopping. Can those sausage-style mop pads actually clean? After pre-rinsing at the dock, the Master took on a coffee stain and nailed it. Cleaned the center in one go, then handled the leftover spots along the edges on the second pass. Along the wall, Roborock's mop rollers performed great. No blind spots. Only 1 inch in the corners remained untouched. Juice stains were wiped up just as easily. The center of the test area looked brand new, but along the baseboard the pressure wasn't quite enough. Faint orange traces lingered in a 0.8 inch zone, and in the corners the usual 1.2 inches remained. Now it's time for the extreme test. Dog hair, autumn grime, muddy paws, let's see what happens. First pass, the robot desperately spreads the mess with its rollers. If it had arms, it'd probably grab its lighter in despair. Second pass, it starts picking up some of the dirt, but also smears the rest in circular streaks. Third pass, the mess starts to fade. The floor looks more even, with visible mop tracks. Fourth pass, much cleaner. especially on the right side, but clumps and smears still linger. Fifth pass? The master keeps at it. Slow and steady. Not perfect yet. Sixth pass. The brown residue is mostly gone, but leftover dirt clumps and streaks are still visible. Only after the seventh pass is the result acceptable, and to clean the edge near the baseboard, you'll probably need one more run. Now, the final boss, the ketchup test. We're not sure where it came from, but it has to go. After 2 passes, the robot had spread it into a giant stain with reddish streaks and water droplets all over. At full water flow, it really soaks the surface. Another pass, the stain remains, though now it's mostly diluted tomato sludge. By the 4th pass, the robot starts to pick it up, but only partially. You'll need to run it again and again, and again, and again. The result still isn't flawless, but good enough to pass. In terms of wet cleaning, the Master gets really close to Cureva's flagship model, the Curve. This thing's a true floor scrubber. After scrubbing your floors spotless, the robot returns to the dock to rinse the mop pads. For better cleaning, the dock heats the water to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Still, the actual pad temperature maxes out at just 97.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Not super hot, but better than the 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit we measured on the S8 Max V Ultra. Noise levels vary depending on the mode, from 39 to 61 decibels. That's about average. We tested the self-cleaning modes on their highest settings. After the coffee test, the pads were stained beige. Once rinsed, no visible dirt remained. They looked clean, but when we hand washed them, a bit of coffee residue came out. Not a big deal, but it shows the difference. Juice-stained pads looked rusty. The dock managed to clean the ends, but reddish specks were still scattered throughout. Hand washing took care of those. After the dirt test, the pads looked terrifying. Some of the fibers were actually clumped together. The self-cleaning brought the mops back to an even color, gray on the surface, earthy below, but when we rinsed them manually, the water turned brown and clumps of soil came out. So yeah, the dock didn't handle that test very well. Ketchup left the pads bright orange, darker in some spots, lighter in others. After rinsing, they looked more uniform, but still not clean. You'll need to wash that kind of mess by hand. No miracles here. The difference is obvious. Overall, mop self-cleaning is mid-tier, same as most Roborock models with mop rollers. For regular cleaning, it's enough. But if you pull the vacuum off the dock right after rinsing, the pads will be soaking wet. A paper towel confirms it. Thankfully, the Master also has a hot air drying feature. But how hot is it, really? We clocked it at 118 degrees Fahrenheit. That's decent for the market average, but not quite on par with Roborock's best. For example, the Cureva Max V hit 133 degrees Fahrenheit. Still, after 2 hours, the pads are dry and the dryer works well. The only downside? A slightly higher noise level, around 38 decibels. If you've got sensitive ears, maybe keep the dock in a separate room. So, final verdict. The Roborock Q Revo Master outperforms the S8 Max V in almost every area, except navigation. It still struggles with detecting drying racks, mirrors, and tiny objects. But inside the home, it cleans like a pro, even deep carpets. In wet mopping, it ranks number 2 across all Roborock vacuums. It scrubs away stains of all kinds. The side brush isn't perfect, but it still scores 100% on laminate floors.
Master? Yes, precious.
This robot is best suited for homes with laminate flooring and medium pile carpets. That's it from me. Thanks for watching and dropping a like. See you in the next review. Thanks.